Hi everyone, this is your spiritual colorist and diamond painter coming back at you once again with take two because this is my second time filming this video. Just telling you ahead of time that I was having a little problems with my videos. So you've been seeing those videos with the lines in the middle. I'm trying to get it where you can see the full screen because for some reason when I turn my phone up, it takes and makes my phone go the opposite way where it doesn't makes my videos look full screen. It always have those two lines, and I'm trying to get the video correct this time, so hopefully it will be right, or we're just gonna have to work with it on the next video. But I wanted to come with you with part 3 of my favorite colorists in the coloring community, which my favorite colorist of all time is, yes, Mr. Kerby Rosanes, who has the most extraordinary talents to me when it comes to being an artist. He is just unique in what he does. He is out of the box, meaning he doesn't have any shame in his game and standing out. And he's very unique to me in what he does. He calls what he does not even drawing, he calls it doodling. And he said he has a book where he just doodles. I love his art because he just stands out and he has such a creative mind. And if you look at all his books can be intimidating, but they also are just exciting to step into a book like Kerby Rosanes and trying to color his pages, whether it's with pencil, whether it's with paint, whether it's with marker, and dive into his world and really bring the picture to life. And he's just one of those people where I just love the way he creates his art in such a unique form that it's like diving into another world, diving into his mind of just extraordinary thinking. And when it comes to artists, I'm showing you all these different artists that were my favorite, starting off with Hannah Carlson, and I showed you some like Michael Jelena, and I had some other ones that I really liked that stood out to me when it comes to buying books, because as colorists, it's not like being a child, in my personal opinion, and you just get books and, your mother and father give you a coloring book and you just color. As an adult colorist, you really look for something that draws to you, or it might be something that you like to collect. I'm someone who really likes to have a feel for what I do. So when I start doing coloring, it's a whole nother level. It's a whole nother vibe of what you're stepping into. I've always said that I've never been much of an artist, as in drawing, but I've always loved art, like going to art galleries and museums. And when you think of the mind of an artist, artists are just the most creative people. Like, some people might look at something the artist does and say, now why in the world would they do that? But then another person might say, oh my God, that's genius. You have abstract art. You have artists that do nature, artists that do portraits. So, when it comes to artists themselves, they are just the most creative and unique-minded people. And as colorists, we're just putting life to the page by adding color with a little paint, with a little, pencil, putting our own personal touch to it. And I have seen some of the most extraordinary colorists in this community that have inspired me, also. So people do this for different reasons. I just realized there was a talent and a gift that I already had, always loving to color, but there's different levels to this, So I have learned that growing and really developing the techniques and the talent behind being a colorist, it's a process because I'm still working on my, techniques and becoming better. So this is one of my first books that I got by him that I love, and it's Fragile World. And I love it because he has in this book the name of all the different endangered species. I haven't done a lot in this book, but the first pages I did was this one, where you see the butterfly. And in the back of the book, when you read, there are the names of all these different species that are endangered and where they're from. And this is page 20, so I'm going to see if I can get you a little information. Yeah, this is the Queen Alexander's birdwing butterfly. Lives exclusively in Guinea, I think. They are the largest butterflies in the world with wingspans of up to 28 centimeters. They are an important component of the food chain. The caterpillars eat foliage and the nectar, feeding adults pollinate flowers. Among other things, habitat loss due to commercial logging and the expanding oil palm industry is threatening their survival. They are also highly valued by collectors, so illegal trading contributes to their diminishing numbers. So these are one of the largest butterflies in the world. And I didn't do much of a background, but that's part of it. So he talks about all the endangered species. And this is the kind of the beginning of the book where like the Amazon rainforest. And I just love it. And it's just beautiful. Turn it around a bit so you can see it. His books are just, to me, totally extraordinary with the different, I've seen people do this page right here. And the art that they do on this page, extraordinary. So I'm starting to tap into liking to do like trying out paints and step out of my fear of using different techniques and using different tools when it comes to, you know, testing things out. Because me, I'm still a beginner. I haven't been doing this long when it comes to really being professional and being, you know, extraordinary as a colorist. I said there's levels to this stuff. So, yeah. I think the other page I've done, well, started because it's a whip, was the owls. And I don't want to bore you guys with reading all these pages about the animals, but I thought, you know, it's kind of interesting. On 39, these are the smallest owls, I think. These are the forest owlets. They live in central India, and unlike most other owls, they are active during the day. These small owls prey on lizards and amphibians as well as small birds and rodents, helping to maintain their ecosystem due to conservation efforts. There are some areas that have a good wild population of forest outlets. However, continued habitat fragmentation through illegal logging and expanding agriculture will pose a threat to this endangered species. So they are like really small owls, and I'm not finished that. So those were the only 2 pages I tried to do. I've seen people do this gorilla. Oh my god. I think it's another page I was starting. If you just look at how he just brings so much uniqueness to his art and how he draws. And I've seen people do this turtle and make it look so beautiful. I'm not doing a entire flip through, just going through parts of the book. Yeah. And that is one of my first favorite books by Kerby Rosanes. This is Imagimorphia. And when it comes to these books, you might find some of the same pictures, or they maybe look a little different. I didn't do a lot in this book at all. I tried starting off this beginning page. I like to turn it around, maybe just see it a little better on my camera. Okay. And then I started that page. Didn't finish it, just the pineapple. And there's another page. Oh, yeah, I did. I tried the tiger in this book. I tried doing his face. It's okay. I done a little blending there with it. Seeing a little gorilla. So that's the only page I think I tried to really complete it. But here's another book coming out soon on October 26th, which is called Kaleidoscope. And it's a bunch of his challenges that he put together, as well as some new art that he has put together. Let me make sure you guys can see everything. And this is Worlds Within Worlds. I love this book because of the way he just extraordinarily brings out the imagination. I I did the whole first page. This is the only book I've done the entire first page. And this is like the tree of life of all the different little, the ant world, the bug world. You know, then you have the rabbits. Then you have the snails over here. And you have a deer. Then you have a tiger over here. The snake, the insect world. You know, the bird world. You know, all these different insects and their different lives inside the tree, and how the tree of life is connected to them, because trees are beautiful. I love trees myself, and they have such a powerful force within the universe. So I always think of stories when I see these kind of pictures. Being a writer, stories always just pop up in my head. So yeah, try to do that one. Here's the background here with some Pebbles chalk. Let's see if I did this one. I tried to do this. I think I want to add more detail. When it comes to being a colorist, as an adult colorist, learning to do more detail in your work is really everything. And learning where to put the details, yes, it's a learning experience. So this is another one. I think I want to put more details in my moon. I've seen people like really put the shiny gel pens and stuff in there, and do a little more on the page. Okay, let me see it a little better. I just want to make sure you guys can see it, because I don't know if my camera is turned the right way. Okay. Then it was the ball. This is like a snowball. And I like how he created that. That's why it's called World Within Worlds. Because then you have a snowball here of a little fox with like a Chinese arch with a tree. On this side, which I haven't done this page, it's a deer on his antlers. And then you have houses on top of his antlers. And he's looking out of the grass. Those are the only ones I have done in Worlds Within Worlds. But I love this book. I think there's another page. I love this one with the books falling out here, with the monkey and the cat. There's the Egyptian, a cat right here, and all the little things, and then the monkey, and all the different things coming out of the monkey. I've seen people do this dragon, and the way they make it look is extraordinarily beautiful. I think I watched it, Color Me Stress Free, her video like 4 or 5 times, because she has done some awesome work in some of her finished pages. And I just like watching colorists who really will do their pages on their videos, and they don't mind sharing what they do as colorists. And you know, they had to learn just like you had to learn. So I just love them, like Zucchini Kitty, and they show you their tools and what they do. It's awesome. It's the awesome community, in the colorist community. A lot of awesome people with great talent. This is one of my favorite books. Another one of my favorite books, other than Worlds Within Worlds, because I haven't done a lot in this one. I think I've done more than Color Morphia than I've done any other. But if you guys know any other mills in the coloring world, please holler at me and put it down in the comments, because it's really hard to find a lot of mills in the coloring community. Tim Jeff is one, but all he really does is animals thus far that I've seen. If I'm wrong, please share, because I do have one of his books, and he has beautiful animal pictures. And it's a lot of grayscale, but I love it. And I haven't really started coloring in his books yet. But even in the art section of just looking at the drawings, I love my ladies. I'm empowering, woman empowerment. I love to empower my women. But I'm like, where is the male figures in the coloring community? Because I know it's some some male coloring artists out there. So even looking at the pictures, it's very rare to find a lot of male pictures even in the coloring books. And I would like to see more of that. I like that Selena Finch puts hers in her like romantic books. I've seen, yeah, my girl Hannah Carlson did it when she puts her, things steampunk, but it's not a lot. It's mostly all the times when you see there's faces of women, but I think it should be kind of an even scale of both. That's just my personal opinion. This is Color Morphia. This is one of the pages I've done. The very first part of the page. Sorry if that shook. Just moved my damn camera. Oh. And I didn't do any background with that, but yeah. And I've done these 2 pages. This one and that one. I like doing this one with the numbers. And then on this side, it's like all the different fishes with the anchor. I try to do a lot of shading. Still learning techniques. Let's see if I can see that a little better. And this one. And I think the last page I did was this one because it was kind of Halloween. I did this with my markers, which I don't like using markers sometimes in my books because I wasn't really good with doing markers too well. But I use this in my book for like Halloween kind of look. And the spider. And I also did this with the hourglass. Good, you guys can see that. That's why I'm trying to turn it around. Yeah. And I think there's another page on it. Yeah, I've done this page. I just tried gel pens in this book. I think this was my gel pen. Like a peacock look with all the different feathers. Then he got his little doodles. He got this little thing right here. Got the little pumpkin. He also has that little Pac-Man thing he'll put in there. And that's why he calls it doodling. There it is, the little Pac-Man. That's Blinky. Y'all play Pac-Man, Miss Playground. I think it's Blinky. I'm trying to think of all those little ghost names because that's how much I used to play Pac-Man. And I think that pink one was that Blinky. I think Blinky might have been a pink one or a blue one. If you were a Pac-Man video game player, you know what I'm talking about. And yeah, that was the last thing I colored in that book. I don't know, some people may have gotten into this art. A lot of people have gotten into this art for therapeutic reasons. I stepped into this more so at the time when I was going through healing and change, and just dived into the colorist, world. But also, a lot of people might go through it because, you're bored and you just need something to do. But this is something I know that I will always want to do in time. And it's an hour, I feel like, where a lot of people may have found gifts that they didn't know they had, a gift that was lying dormant within you that you just didn't know that God was going to bring out of you in this season, especially during the pandemic where everybody was being quarantined and we had to, isolate ourselves from everyone else. And sometimes we start getting creative, our minds start flowing, and we start doing things we like, oh, I used to do this when I was a kid. And then you start doing something that you didn't even realize you had the talent and gift to do, and you start doing it more than you used to. And it just starts coming out of you. So I think like a lot of gifts that were lying dormant or, hidden for a while have begun to come out. And then there's times where we do things to help our minds focus for healing. Like I don't sit and do diamond painting or coloring for 4-5 hours. I may take an hour and 30 minutes out of my time of the day to do art. And I know people that have arts and craft all through the day. But I love it, but it hasn't became that much of a a magnitude in your life where like I gotta do it all the time. I know some people that say they do it consistently, but I still am thankful for the gift and the talent. So everybody has different reasons for why they tune in to different arts and crafts, or they're going with the trends, or they're just trying to vibe with what's going on at the time. That's why I say as a spiritual colorist and diamond painter, I always do to what my spirit draws to what connects me and what I feel leads me to do what I do. Spiritually, everything has to have a meaning, a purpose, and has to connect to me in a positive, so that encourages you, uplifts you, and motivates you in a positive way. So yeah. And when you listen to Kerby, he sounds like really has a great personality. I listened to him a little bit on YouTube. They had a small little interview with him, and he seemed really like a cool guy. But yeah, he's awesome. This is Mythomorphia. And I like this book too. This is one of my other books. I did the very front part. Oh gosh, of this book. I think they're just like the artists that are coming out in this season. Or people that have been artists and they just didn't know they were artists. I see a lot of people like, I would always like to draw, but I've never really gotten into it, and now they're getting back into drawing and doing art. So yeah, God is raising up his artists in this season. Yeah, I started this, but I didn't finish it, so I think there's another page to do right here. This is the page I said I was going to do next. I don't think I did. Did I do another one? This is the other page I said I wanted to do because it's like kind of October and Halloween with the werewolf. And I've seen so many people do this page, and it's blown my mind. It's blown my mind with the way it turns out. So I gotta really get my skills aligned with that. Yes. And this is my favorite coloring artist in the coloring community. My favorite artist in the coloring community. His name is Kerby Rosanes, and I love his work, and I'm definitely going to get his new book called Kaleidoscope. His books don't even be really expensive. I haven't been a collector of anything, not within the coloring world anyway. I used to love to collect angel figurines because I loved angels, and I have my little, everybody's ever seen my tattoo on my arm. My Cupid, but anyway, we're talking about coloring. But I love his work. I think he's genius in the way his mind really works, because he has a really creative mind. And if you like this video and you like Kerby Rosanes, and like I said, if you know of any other male colorists or artists in the community, I think I do have the guy that did the Ink House. I'm gonna give him his props because I love the Ink House book. And I heard that he made that book by accident, because that's the only coloring book I could find of him on YouTube. And I'm still doing my coloring in that book, because it's made like a real book, and it's called The Ink House. And I think Emil did that, and I think his name is Robert something. But if you know any other male coloring artists or any male coloring artists in the community, please put them down in the comments. And if you like my content, please subscribe and like. And yes, this is one of my favorite artists in the community. It's Mr. Kerby Rosanes. He is thebomb.com. If you don't have any of his books, try one of them out. I know it seems a little intimidating, but once you start getting into his coloring his drawings, you really get into it, and it's hard to step out of it. He's so fantastic with just coming up with creative things to, really blow your mind and make you want to get in there and dive and put all these different colors and different images to life, bring all these different images to life. So yes, this is your spiritual colorist and diamond painter. And don't be afraid of being unique, of being different, and being you. Have a blessed day, and thank you so much for tuning in. Bye-bye.